Hello, Shrewdness. Welcome to our show tonight. Chiz is on vacation this week, but Dex and Prue here. We're going to keep the show rolling, as they say in Hollywood, and on podcasting, I think, too. So
It has to be.
it's probably the same.
If they don't, they should.
Right. We just made that up, if you couldn't tell. Now, we're here to bring another edition of the Shrewdness podcast. We are going to talk about the final in the World Baseball Classic that happened last night. Very exciting finish. We're going to talk about tomorrow. This will be published probably during the first round of games for the NCAA tournament. But we'll talk a little bit about that and a couple teams that we like. It's hard to digest the whole bracket in a day or two with all the other stuff going on, but we'll give you at least a little bit of knowledge going into the tournament. And then I think we're going to wrap up with some new NFL signings that have happened this last week. We hit on several after week one, but there's been a lot of news happening the last several days too, so we'll bring you up to speed on that.
Yep. One team in purple has a new quarterback. We'll
That's
talk
true.
about that when we get there. We
better talk about it. Yeah, we better talk about it this week before Chiz gets back, because
all he'll do is just rip on him.
He'll be obnoxious about it, and we don't want that. So
we don't need more of that. I got you, Vikings fans. I mean, son of a, I gave it away. Buried in the lead. All right.
We can edit that out.
That's right.
All right. Dex, take it away. Tell us your take on World Baseball Classic and the final that occurred last night between two really good teams.
That's right. So the World Baseball Classic, if you've been listening the last couple of weeks, super pumped. It was exactly what I wanted to be, an exciting tournament from start to finish. And we saw some very interesting, cool stories. Not the least is Italy, who ended up being a Final Four team. So Team Italy, congrats to you. And again, for our Royals listeners out there, we got to watch Vinny Pasquantino and Jack Caglione kind of leading that team to won the first 5 games and then lost the 6th. And they lost to the eventual champs, Venezuela. But they had to come back to do it. So they had the lead 2-1 in the 7th inning. And then Venezuela scraped across a couple runs, and Italy just couldn't get anything else to happen. But a great series and tournament for Italy and for baseball. It's just a great story. So when you watch those and get the stories behind it, I mean, the manager driving all over Italy just to find people playing in sandlots to get the Italian baseball program going, that's cool. That's really freaking cool. But, I mean, we got to finish, though. I mean, the Final Four teams, 3 of them were expected. And the 4th one, Italy, was not expected. But I think at the end of the day, Japan really good again. They lost to a good team. Venezuela beat them. And Venezuela had a great tournament. And if you watched the game last night, you know it was the first time Venezuela's won any sort of tournament of any sort, baseball or otherwise, I think since the 40s. Didn't they say like 46 or something like that?
It's hard to believe, but yeah, it's been a lifetime for most of these people, right?
It is. And that's a baseball country, and you could tell. And if you didn't watch the game, it was I'm not exaggerating. 80% Venezuela fans in Miami. Like, the U.S. has been a road team 3 of the last 4 games in the World Baseball Classic in Houston and in Miami. So when Mexico played, that stadium was all Mexico. Canada, I think, is probably an even split. It didn't seem like it was too lopsided. But then when Team USA played Dominican in Miami, that was all DR fans. And it was cool to see it. I mean, like we said, it's more like a soccer atmosphere. Or football, however you want to do it. But just loud, proud, beating drums, just having a party.
That's what I thought was different. Was a lot of the drums and noisemakers and stuff like you hear at soccer games around the world versus a normal, U.S. baseball game is some cheering, a little more subdued,
a little more subdued in the U.S. But then we got to the final in Venezuela and U.S. So the U.S. beat Dominican Republic, which, if I'm being honest, I thought that was basically the championship game. I thought the U.S. would trounce the winner of Venezuela and Italy. Well, I was wrong on that. But the Dominican Republic game was still awesome. It was super exciting all the way down to the end. The U.S. came away with it, obviously. I think 2-1 was the final score of that one.
Right.
And then we got to Venezuela. And let's just start in here. So, boy, the U.S. bats for the entire tournament were pretty freaking sleepy. And they slept for 8 innings yesterday. And then we had one exciting moment. So it was basically 2-0, a very sleepy game. Even the drummers of Venezuela were falling asleep. It was a lot of Z's going on in Venezuela. For the Venezuela fans and U.S. fans in Miami, this wasn't very entertaining, to be dead honest. So we had a solo shot, and then we had Salvi come around on a double, I believe he scored. And that was kind of cool that Salvi scored one of the runs.
Yeah.
So it's 2-0 kind of the whole game, 1 in the third, 1 in the fifth. And then Bryce Harper. So after Bobby Witt draws a 2-out walk, Bryce Harper, who hadn't done much of anything this tournament, he had a hit earlier in the game for the championship, he parked one. And I thought, and Pruitt, tell me if this is what you thought too. I thought, here it is, baby.
Yeah.
U.S. finally got it. Tie game. Let's go. All we got to do is hold him and get one in the bottom of the ninth, and it's go time. When Bryce Harper hit that dinger, what did you think about the course of the game? Did you think momentum was totally changed?
Yeah, it was a complete shift, and that's kind of what I kept hoping for the whole game. It was like, if they could just keep the score low, keep it close, one big swing, and they're right back in it.
Yeah.
Which is exactly what happened. And I'm with you. I thought momentum has shifted, and now it's the U.S.'s time to shine, just in time to close it out. Late in the game in the final.
Yeah, and I thought, I've been reading some articles, and I watched the game and heard the commentary too, and people are like, oh, why did you not bring in Mason Miller? And then you heard DeRosa after the game is like, to honor the Padres and all this sort of junk. It's not like Garrett Whitlock sucks, man. He's really good. He's exceptionally good.
He hadn't given up a run the whole tournament, which is not a lot.
Last year for Boston, 7-3, 2.25 ERA, 91 Ks and 72 innings. Yeah. This guy is not a chump. He's not just off the couch guy. He's really, really good. I loved it. I would have put him in anyway. Yeah. And Mason Miller, he's gotten through and hadn't allowed a run either. But he had some shaky at-bats. I mean, he was not flawless going through here. But he got 2 saves and his 2 save opportunities. Got it.
He was a little wild, I thought, in the previous game.
Yep. But 10 strikeouts in his 4 innings in the Classic. And he had the 2 walks, but those walks were in, not the best situation. Oh, no, not a walk here.
Tight game, leading off an inning. That's bad.
That's not what you're rooting for. I thought the people – so congratulations to Venezuela. Let's just start there. Awesome.
Frankly – to your earlier point, early in the game, right, I tuned in for the first couple innings, and then I went and did something and came back in the 5th. So I missed the first 2 runs. But first hit of the game for Venezuela, the whole crowd erupted. Yeah. I was like, I thought this was in Miami.
Yeah.
But it was clear that was a wild crowd that was there to see their team, right? Venezuela dominated those stands. They were
I guess I didn't realize
out
that
in full force.
Venezuela had a massively high population in the city of Miami. And they announced it I think it was the biggest population of Venezuelans in the country lives in Miami, which makes sense. Makes sense.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, I think a lot of those South American countries have a large population in southern Florida. So that makes sense there. I think that the people that disappointed, so we'll talk about how good Venezuela is here in a minute, but for Team USA, I already said the bats were sleepy all tournament. In the championship game, when we need our biggest thunder bats to do the most, could you think if 2 runs allowed or 3 runs allowed, we should have rolled that game with this offense. Yeah. But Aaron Judge, captain of the team, goes 0 for 4 with 3 Ks. Kyle Schwarber, 0 for 3, 3 Ks. And he got a walk, so he got on base at least. But, man, our 3-4 hitters in a game that matters the most. And, frankly, the whole team had 3 hits altogether. So Harper had 2 of those 3. And I think Trang had the other one. Yep, Trang had the other one.
Yeah.
That was it. That was the U.S. offense against Venezuela. And this is what's frustrating, is Venezuela's pitching lineup. Eduardo Rodriguez, of the ilk of 5+ ERA and multiple seasons in the big leagues. Back of the rotation, Arizona Diamondback starter who blows, man. He's not good, to put it any other way. He pitched, honest to God, the best game of his life last night. 4 1/3 innings, 1 hit.
Yeah.
Now go back to Major League. One goddamn hit. That's all
Against
we could get.
against a bunch of all-stars.
Yes.
Right? I mean, that was a stellar lineup.
And only one walk, 4 Ks. And he came out, I'm like, this is not good if Eduardo Rodriguez just shut us down for half a game.
Yeah.
And then the rest of them, that's the thing, is that their bullpen was good. Team USA, I think, did not expect to come out with 0 runs in 5 innings with Eduardo Rodriguez starting. That one kind of hurt. So I think that killed. The bullpen did great. Kudos to Venezuela's bullpen guys. So Bizardo, Budo, Zerpa, good job, former Royal Zerpa. Machado and Palencia closed it down for Venezuela. And again, except for Machado giving up the 2-run shot to Bryce Harper. And if anyone was due to do something, Bryce Harper was due. So I don't really fault Machado. He just finally threw it over the plate, and Harper, for once this tournament, was on time and sent that thing deep. Like we said, that was a pretty exciting moment. But as we look through the starters, and I know if Chisholm was here, here's exactly what he would say. So we had Tarek Skubal standing on the top step, and instead we're throwing our young kid, Nolan McLean, again, Mets, I think, second or third starter on the team. He's at rookie status, and he's honestly the top prospect pitcher in the game. So it's not like, oh my God, what kind of scrub are they throwing out there? I thought McLean did just fine, and giving up 2 runs in 5 innings is enough to usually win a game.
Yeah.
But I think Chisholm's point, I want to get your take on this too, Peru, is why the hell can Tarek Skubal not pitch? Is he not going to throw any more games in spring training? Is he not going to throw any more innings, bullpens, pitch to batters anymore to prep for a season?
Yeah.
Why could he not do 65 pitches for Team USA in the championship game? Not that I'm upset about it, but I want to get your take. Do you think there's any justifiable reason why you would not pitch other than it sounds like he had a deal with Detroit beforehand, but then he tried to change the deal, but for whatever reason they didn't? What's your take on Tarek Skubal?
Yeah, that's kind of even so I'll talk about that specific situation in a second, but even beyond that, I think the whole timing of the World Baseball Classic just sets this kind of conflict up.
Yeah.
Right? It's early in the year. The pitchers are going to play the next 6 months for their team where they're getting paid a lot of money.
Yep.
Right, to be healthy and pitch for that team. So it's bound to happen. It sucks that it's potentially cost the U.S., a chance, an even better chance at winning the tournament and everything. But
when you have the Cy Young just standing on the top shelf of the dugout, it hurts.
Obviously we don't know the details and all that, but it's even worse that he was still there at the game.
That's worse.
If he would have had to fly back because he had to get to a spring training game or whatever because of some contract thing, that's one thing. Yep. But I'm still part of the team, but I'm not allowed to pitch because fill in the blank reason. I don't know.
And that's what's weird, because to go back to what you just said, I thought he was going back to the team. I thought he was peacing out after pool play. So when I saw him in the dugout in the last couple of games, like, what? He is here? He just won't pitch anymore?
He talked about, I think you said it, he talked with Detroit, I think, about like maybe altering their deal or whatever so that he could pitch one more time. And then I guess that just fizzled out or whatever. It never came to be.
Yeah.
But super frustrating to see like your star pitcher, one of your star pitchers, one of your best two, just hanging out, watching the action. Not wanting or not willing to be in the game.
Then another question I want to ask you, Peru, is do you think this is more of a U.S. letdown or a huge, just great game by Venezuela?
The bats for sure were disappointing, but beyond Venezuela's bullpen in the final, they said something. I can't remember the stat that they gave, but that bullpen was lights out all the way, the whole tournament, but especially past pool play. Once they got into bracket play, that their bullpen was lights out.
Yeah, the last time they got hit around was Dominican Republic, Game 4 of the pool play.
Yeah,
that was it.
So they locked down. I think that might have been the only runs they gave up. I mean, they gave up the Bryce Harper homer, I guess, but they didn't allow base runners. They were striking out. There's a lot of chatter from the announcers about how many times the U.S. had struck out last night. They were overmatched, it seemed like.
Yeah.
So kudos to them. A little bit of a letdown, maybe, or a disappointment from the U.S. bats, but I think you got to give credit to Venezuela. They just outplayed them.
That's right. And like it wasn't. We say like Venezuela was the underdog, and they were. But you're starting off with Acuna Jr., who I believe won the MVP of the year. He went 40-70. You got Michael Garcia, All-Star last year. Luis Arias, 3 straight batting titles in a row. He didn't win last year, but 3 in a row before that. Eugenio Suarez, 40 home runs multiple times. Gleyber Torres, multiple-time All-Star. Ezekiel Tovar, Gold Glove, and also a 300 hitter for the Rockies. Wilyer Abreu from Boston, and then obviously Salvi, and then Jackson Chourio. That is a legitimate lineup.
Yeah.
It is one that we talked about beforehand. We were previewing this classic. That lineup in the Dominicans and the U.S., those were the 3 best lineup. Well, Japan was really good too. So those 4 teams, that's why they were favored. That's why those were the 4 favorite teams.
Given those lineups, would you have ever predicted a 3-2 final?
No, usually because the pitchers are behind the bats anyway.
Yes, yeah.
And maybe it's because they're on the pitch count. I mean, when you only have to throw 60 pitches and you don't have to go through a lineup a third time, maybe that has something to do with it. I don't know.
Yeah.
But again, the pitchers did well.
I was expecting more like an 8-7 game or a 5-4 game, but 3-2 and 2-1 the game before. Like there was a lot more pitching than I expected.
A lot more good pitching, like really, really good.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
expected some Netherlands, like in Czechia. I mean, that guy was throwing 74 miles an hour and shut out Japan for 4 in the third innings. Like
standing
ovation.
As an electrician awesome. Or whatever he was.
Yeah, electrician.
That was a great story.
It was fantastic. I do want to touch a little bit on just the Royals touch here, because we are Royals fans at heart here at the Shrewdness, if you haven't listened to us before. And having Salvador Perez just tear up and be so freaking emotional about this, and the captain of the team Venezuela, big part of getting a lot of these guys there. That was awesome to see him win. And if it was going to be anybody, it may as well be Salvador Perez and Michael Garcia, some Royals, winning the hardware for the World Baseball Championship. But how great was it seeing Salvi hold up a championship trophy, Prue?
Oh, yeah.
And listening to his speech after the game, I don't know if you listened to that. It was awesome.
I was super excited to see him, A, represent Venezuela as the captain, B, walk away with the trophy and hold it high. You know, the guy just loves baseball. Doesn't matter who he's playing for, but
plays like a 12-year-old. He's always played like a 12-year-old. We've talked about that multiple times on this show. He's so fun to watch play. That smile never leaves his face. He's just awesome. He plays every day, and when he's not, he's like upset about it, but then he'll like cheer like he's a 12-year-old kid cheering on his best friends.
Yeah.
It's just awesome.
Yep. Super cool to see that. Super cool to see Garcia and the MVP.
It was.
The tournament. Well-deserved.
For sure.
A couple of huge hits for Venezuela.
Yep.
And,
big hits. Batted 385, 970 OPS. It was well earned. It was pretty darn good.
Yeah.
So that was good. So I think that is all I've got for World Baseball Classic. Any other moments that you want to talk about before we move on to the next one?
Like you said, Italy was surprising. So back to the Royals thing. We got to see Vinny and Jack advance. Michael Garcia and Salvi, Bobby Witt, obviously, Team USA. And, I mean, lots of Royals and ex-Royals and stuff scattered throughout the tournament. It was fun to see them represent well. So.
Absolutely. So that's a wrap of World Baseball Classic. I hope you guys watched some of it, and I hope you got to see just the pure joy and excitement from some of these teams in the tournament. It's so fun to watch. It makes you just get right in the dugout with them.
Yeah.
You're doing their dances, the espresso shots, and the Armani codes for the Italians, and then putting the numbers on the coffee espresso machine was amazing. Wearing the hats and the jacket, like everybody. The celebrations were unbelievable, and they're jumping over the top rail. Incredible. I can't wait for 3 years from now. But we'll get some World Cup and have some more similar activities this summer, which is going to be a blast.
This is an awesome lead-in to the World Cup that's coming. Is.
So if that didn't get you excited for your countries coming into that, look into that. All right, so now let's pivot into NCAA. So, Peru, you and I, back in the day in high school, along with Chisholm and many of our friends, when Thursday and Friday, first 2 days of the tournament came along, we were not very good in school. And especially when then SMS, but Missouri State would make it. Winston Garland, if you guys remember way back then, it was a blast when your team made it. And it's still that exciting to be there. I don't quite follow college basketball as much as I used to, especially back in college when I had tons of free time. Worked, right? Work gets in the way now. You got to pick your sports.
Work is ruining my sports life for sure.
Exactly. But we know enough to be dangerous this year. And so we're going to kind of go through just not like game by game, but kind of each kind of main bracket, the Final Four ones, and then some games we're looking forward to this weekend. So let's jump into Peru. Give us your winners from each little quadrant, East, West, South, Midwest. Who is your Final Four team, and who are they playing? So who's really your Elite Eight?
So we kind of talked about it in the Patreon before the show. This is a tournament that seems to have some elite teams and then the rest.
Yes.
Right? So it's
NIL has ruined it again.
Yeah, it's pretty it sounds like we don't really know what we're talking about, and we probably don't. But I picked mostly.
It's also more chalk.
Mostly favorites, yeah. So Duke and UConn. Maybe Michigan State sneaks in the East, but I don't see anybody else really competing very deep in that corner of the bracket.
Yeah. So I am also on Duke and UConn, which sounds so chalky. Like, you Shrewdness hosts, you just don't know anything. That's why you're going 1 and 2s. I'm like, well, if you kind of look how the tournament's gone the last couple of years, once NIL came back into play, Cinderella's slipper's been broken, man. Like, it's just, there'll be a couple, don't get me wrong, but days of the 13 seed getting to the Final Four and the 12 seed, and even 7s and 8s, man.
Yeah.
It's just whatever. You just don't see it very much anymore. The favorites go because the favorites are stocked.
2 years ago, there was like an 11 versus a 7 or something in the Elite Eight.
Mm-hmm.
And then just got obliterated the next 2 weeks. Yeah. Or the next 2 rounds. Those teams just at some point are going to get obliterated by the powerhouses that seem to be there every year.
It is. And so I think interesting. So I'm a big KU fan. I love Kansas. And I think Kansas has done some disappointing things before. But I believe they will get past Cal Baptist of the 4-13 game there. So if they can't beat the 13 seed, oh my gosh. Kansas should be able to win that. They beat Arizona when they were undefeated. Of course, it was at home. They keep saying, anyone can win at home on Monday. But whatever. So Kansas should win the first round. But then the St. John's, Northern Iowa, I think they'll also win that one. But by the time they win those 2 games, make Sweet 16, I think that's where their tournament run ends, because you will run into Duke, who will probably have just beaten Ohio State. And I think Duke is far superior to Kansas this year. So I think that's kind of I'm looking forward to the game. I think Duke-Kansas is always awesome when it comes up in these tournaments. I think it'll be a good game, but I think Duke's got too much this year. So you're obviously on the same page on that. Is that the matchup you have in this particular bracket?
I've got St. John's squeaking it out against Kansas.
St. John's, huh? Even though they've been playing like dog balls down the stretch.
Yeah,
all right.
I like their coach.
Oh yeah.
That's a lot of it. I feel like I think. Bill Self's fine too, but I think tournament time, he's done okay. Tournament time, teams with a solid coach that has been around for a long time have a huge advantage. Experience.
They've seen it before.
As a coach, they know how to win, and you can see, obviously the classes turn over and new players roll in every 4 years, but you can see some of those coaches have been around a lot of years. Yeah. Been to the tournament, most of them. So.
And then I think one of my upset picks for this bracket, I do like South Florida over Louisville. South Florida's been looking pretty darn good. And Louisville, they're good, don't get me wrong, but they're beatable. So I think that's a beatable matchup. So South Florida is kind of a sneaky one in there if you want to if you have an upset bracket where you get points for the other way. That's kind of an interesting one. I think UConn's going to blow through the winner of UCF, UCLA, and they're playing Furman, so I don't see UConn losing to Furman. And then they'll get the winner of probably Michigan State and I think South Florida, but it could be Louisville. They'll play them, and I don't see that as a contest, and so it's going to get down to where it's UConn and Duke. So it sounds chalky, but when you look at who they're playing,
right?
Really, I mean, you could throw a dart and hope it works out, but those are the two best teams in that bracket. It's pretty clear to me.
Yeah.
All right, so let's move on down. And so, of Duke UConn, who do you have winning that game for your Final Four pick?
I have Duke. They're
same.
Pretty much unbeatable this year.
Yeah,
I mean,
they are
have lost
tough.
a couple games, but
32-2.
They don't lose many.
Games. Yeah, exactamundo. Let's go down to the South. So Florida is the 1 seed there. Houston's a 2 seed. Who do you got in that particular bracket meeting in the Elite Eight?
So I think Florida's got a clear advantage. They're a powerhouse team. I actually
champs,
like,
if I recall, right? Did they win last year?
Yeah, I think they did.
I think they did too.
I actually have Illinois going to the Elite Eight.
Woo!
Facing Florida.
That's somebody that hasn't been in Illinois watching Illinois play. I'm not going to get on that bandwagon.
Well, I don't know. We'll see.
They like losing close games, is all I know. When it gets close and the going gets tough, they collapse. So if they don't win by a lot, they lose it close. And I think they went.
They may struggle with UNC the second round if they get past that. I don't know.
No, I agree. It could be. And Texas A&M is another sneaky one coming out, but St. Mary's. I feel like St. Mary's always ends up doing decent in the tournament, and so I have Houston and Florida again, chalky. But I've watched both those teams play quite a bit. They just seem to be the games that were on when I was watching basketball. So Houston's is good. They play suffocating defense.
Yeah.
And they crushed my team, Kansas. Maybe it's just because if a team beats my team, I think they're really good. It can't possibly be my team played a bad game. So Houston's obviously better. So they're just really good. But Houston's going to be tough. I think, again, I agree with you. I think it'll be either Illinois or North Carolina will be their toughest one in the Sweet 16 round. That'll be a tough one. I think Houston's just better, though. I think they'll beat Illinois. I think it'll be not even really close. And if North Carolina gets it, same problem. They just don't have enough depth off the bench to do, in my opinion, to make it to the Final Four, Elite Eight. Florida is just tough.
Yes.
But Clemson, Iowa, the winner of that game, which I have Iowa, but you could say Clemson sounds good. Iowa's tough. Clemson's tough. I think they could sneaky. In Florida, I mean, they weren't that good at the beginning. A lot of people were surprised they ended up with the top seed, number 1. And most of it's because the beginning of the year. It's not really at the end of the year. They played really well down the stretch. So it's going to be probably Florida, which is why I have Florida, Houston, and the two teams.
Well, I mean, to your point, it's very tough to repeat. So
it is.
It's super possible that they could get an early exit after getting a little overconfident, maybe, or when teams are going up against the champs. Everybody brings their A game and plays their best game.
It is. They don't have what are you going to lose? You're already the underdog. Just give them everything they got.
Right.
So you got Illinois and Florida, and who do you got winning going Final Four?
I actually took
Illinois. Oh my God! You are making friends in the area here in Illinois. You're making some friends.
It's not going to be 4-1 seeds. So somebody's going to get upset sometime.
There'll probably be a 2 seed in there. We are a chalky tournament. All right, let's go to the West. Speaking of chalky, so we have this is the Arizona and Purdue bracket. Who do you got going to the Elite Eight here, and what games are you looking forward to?
I like Gonzaga. Again, going back to the coaches that seem to be there every year.
Yeah.
Their coach is amazing, and Gonzaga is not, size-wise and everything, is not a huge school comparatively, but they just always seem to have a great team that does well in the tournament. And again, I think a lot of that's from coaching and just preparation.
I think you're right. I mean,
I like them advancing, and Arizona is the clear favorite on the other side of the bracket. They're just a dominant team this year.
They are. I think the good thing about Gonzaga is they have kind of a history of being good when no one expects them to be good, and
Right.
they just keep being the name. So they know that the name on the chest has won some incredible games in history. I think that has something to do with it. You can be Cinderella when you're like, we've been there, we've won this whole
Yeah.
thing before, and yeah, it's not this team, but I'm gonna be rooting for them as well. So I've got some friends in the area, and one of their family members plays for Gonzaga. So I am all in. So I think Davis Fogel is Gonzaga, and so we'll be rooting from him from Illinois. Go Davis, go Gonzaga. I think they're gonna have a. I think they'll win the first two games pretty easy, and then they'll be playing either Purdue or probably Miami. And again, I like Kansas, and I'm from Missouri though, so like I got a soft spot for Mizzou. But when they play each other, I always go for Kansas. But I don't have to worry about that in this bracket.
Nope.
So Missouri plays Miami, Florida in their first game, and Missouri has been struggle busting down the stretch. Like a lot of people thought they were going to be one of the first four out. They made it in as a 10 seed. I mean, they got 20 wins in the SEC, so that's pretty good. 20-12 this season. I think that is a fun game. Looking forward to watching it. Not going to be surprised if Miami wins, though. I'm picking Missouri because I'm a homer, and I'm going to pick Missouri. But
Of course.
I'm not going to be shocked or surprised when Miami ends up being circled on everyone else's bracket. No, the thing is, Purdue, I think, is going to pound them. Whoever wins that game, I think Purdue is just going to pound them. I mean, they're the Big Ten champs. Just beat Michigan, who many people think can win this whole darn thing. So Purdue is no floozy whatsoever. In my bracket, I have Arizona meeting Purdue at the end. I think a fun game is going to be Arkansas versus Wisconsin this weekend on either Saturday or Sunday, whenever that is. And then I think the winner of that game is going to be playing Arizona. I think that is going to be a great game. So either Arkansas, Wisconsin versus Arizona will be their toughest matchup if they get through that one. And that is the chance of the upset in this bracket where I can see one. I think that'd be where it will come from. But otherwise, Arizona's looked really tough. They've only lost 2 games all season, and they were hard losses. I mean, they were close. So Arizona and Purdue for me out of that one, and then Arizona going to the Final Four for me.
Yep.
Again, chalky is all get out. My bad. I've given you some of the upsets in the middle to go for, but just don't see much else happening. I don't see Gonzaga getting through all those teams.
One more team that I think is interesting in the West is High Point. They play Wisconsin in the first round.
Yeah.
So they're a smaller school. I get that. In the Big South, which is not a powerhouse league by any means, but they were 30-4.
Yeah.
And teams that are used to winning in the regular season, that know how to win, can catch fire in the tournament. And so a team like that is a team that goes a couple rounds deep, and then they run up against a team that just overmatches them. But it wouldn't shock me if they're, as a 12 seed, if they make it through that first round, at least, then they'll be facing Arkansas most likely.
Yep.
Who will probably kill them. But anyway,
I don't want to dismiss the Rainbow Warriors of Hawaii who are playing Arkansas, but I don't know. Arkansas is a whole different beast than what Hawaii's used to playing. So,
right.
And then so a lot of people think Acuff Jr., so the point guard for Arkansas, who is amazing. So I think Chisholm was talking last week. He's the first one since Pistol Pete to lead the SEC in points and assists in the season.
Yeah.
So that's 50 freaking years or something since someone has done what he just did. They are coming off the SEC champions. So Arkansas is someone, again, it's the depth issue. They keep having to rely on Acuff all the way down the stretch to win every single game for them. I think Arizona's got too much talent, but I believe it's going to be Arizona, Arkansas will be playing in that key game for the West.
Yeah.
And Acuff Jr. is someone that's fun to watch. If you've not watched Arkansas play or just haven't been in that region or area, they're good. They're good. They're fun to watch. And that's a sneaky 4 seed that could wreck some brackets this year, I think. So one to look out.
Besides watching teams, a lot of guys like that step up in this tournament. You hear new names that you've never heard all year long.
That's right.
He might be an exception.
And he's one that's gotten better and better as the season's gone on too, by all accounts. I mean, I wasn't watching week 1 Arkansas, but I did watch a tournament, SEC tournament, Arkansas, like, he looked good. And they're saying, yeah, he's moved his draft stock up. A lot of people think he'd be the number 1 pick in the draft. I'm like, wow, I didn't know he was that good.
That's awesome.
So something to watch. All right, let's go to our last quadrant. So we got the Midwest, where we got Michigan and Iowa State, the 1 and 2 seeds there. Who do you got? You got any upsets in this one, or are you chalking it all the way in?
No, I actually took Virginia. I like the Cavs. They've been historically pretty good. They can go far in a tournament like this. ACC is no joke.
Yep.
As a league, so I have them beating Iowa State and making it to face Michigan.
Yeah, I think that is pretty darn good. And then Michigan and Virginia, who do you have winning it?
I have Virginia. I'm sorry.
Look at you.
No, I have Michigan taking it from Virginia.
Okay. I was going to say, if you've got Illinois and Virginia in the Final Four, you're going back to classic upset brackets. That's kind of fun.
Nope, I got Michigan facing Duke in the finals.
Okay, nice. I like it.
So.
All right, so I'm going Michigan and Virginia as my Elite Eight matchup.
Okay.
And, man, I really want Virginia because I got a little soft spot there for the Cavaliers. Lived in Charlottesville for a year and been there many, many, many times. Been to quite a few games. Oh, man, I just think Michigan's got too much for them, though. I mean, you can have a great defense, but when you have to defend that much and those humongous bodies that Michigan throws at you, I don't know how you get past it.
They're long.
Anything can happen. They're long and fast and a deep bench. I mean, Michigan's freaking good. So I got Michigan going to the Final Four, but they're playing Virginia. I think Iowa State is awesome. I would not be shocked at all if they win this bracket. If they win the Midwest, wouldn't be shocked at all. They're an excellent team. Excellent team. I think that a fun weekend game is going to be Iowa State, Kentucky. And, yeah, it could be Santa Clara if you're doing one of those 7-10s and Santa Clara wins. Okay, well, then it won't be as fun a game, I don't think. But Iowa State, Kentucky would be pretty cool. And then Virginia versus Miami, Ohio is another potential matchup. So I think that game's still going on. We don't know the winner yet. But Tennessee's playing the winner of the play-in game, SMU or Miami, Ohio. But Miami, Ohio, if you haven't been watching basketball, they were undefeated until they weren't this last week. So they
finals
lost
of their tournament.
Yeah. So they were actually at risk of not making it, being undefeated the entire season and losing in your ratty little bracket tournament. And they lost the free ride. They're like, no. So they had to get an at-large bid, but the at-large bid was only in the 65 to 68 range. So they ended up having to play their way in. But that'd be a fun story. It would really suck if they didn't get on the main bracket sheet. You want to be part of 64, not 68, in my opinion. So that'll be kind of a fun one to watch. Alabama's a great team on the top half over on the Michigan side. St. Louis, again, I'm right on the doorstep there. So SLU, St. Louis Billikens, they are a fun team to watch. They got Larry Nerd. They got the total dork guy. He's amazing. Used to be Indiana State. Yeah, Indiana State. So the coach and him both came over from there. And he's got the rec spec glasses on. He's fantastic. You're going to love watching the Billikens. But Georgia's a tough matchup for him. Georgia's been taking the ball away a lot lately. And the problem with St. Louis lately, they've been giving the ball away a lot lately.
Yeah,
so
that does not make a good matchup.
No, it's not sounding great. I'm going to put St. Louis in there as an 8-9 upset. So they're the 9 seed. But Georgia's probably going to win. But I'm putting St. Louis anyway. And then Michigan's going to pound that team. And then we go down to the bottom part. They'll probably run into Alabama or Texas Tech. I think it'll probably be Alabama, though. I think they're better. And then, like I said, we like Virginia kind of rolling through the bottom. I'm with you on that. And then I have Michigan getting in there. So my Final Four is Michigan, Houston, Arizona, Duke. I've got Duke versus Michigan with Duke winning it all.
Oh, we think alike, Dex.
Is that what you end up to?
Yes.
Oh, my God. We did not compare brackets either. We're
your,
winging it on the air with you guys.
What's your tiebreaker, if you don't mind me asking?
I didn't actually do the tiebreaker, but generally speaking, I almost always go like 74, 71. I'm almost always like 145.
I went a little lower. I went 133.
Ooh, that is low. Yeah.
60, 65, 60, whatever that translates to.
That is low. That's a super low score game. These are good offenses. But anyway, we'll see if that comes to play. So that is our bracket coverage. So good luck on your brackets. Hope you win the office pools and get your bragging rights. And hopefully we gave you a couple little teams to think about for upsets. And it's going to be fun. Looking forward to March Madness. Again, I remember just fondly back in the day. I used to always take off work the first 2 days of the tournament. Like in my 20s when that cost me like $20 giving up 2 days of work. And as I was like, what are you going to do? Fire me? I make nothing. And so it's just super fun. I love the first couple days of the bracket. I will be paying attention. I know most of the country will be paying attention. There's nothing better than circling those brackets on
That's right.
the first weekend. It's just a blast.
Look how much of a genius I was.
That's right. So let's kick it over to some NFL stuff, Prue. Tell us what's been happening in the last week there.
Yeah, so we, like I mentioned earlier, we covered a lot of the kind of main signings and noteworthy players that were changing teams right away when the free agency season opened up. This last week, several more kind of key things have happened. Maybe not quite as blockbuster deals as some of the ones we saw early. No more Max Crosby situation.
Double first-round picks.
Things like that, but let's see. Dating back to kind of mid part of last week, Omenihu and Chenal went from the Chiefs over to Washington. So both those guys are giving up their Chiefs gear for some not Redskins gear.
Commanders gear. That's right.
We mentioned last week David Montgomery going to Houston.
Yep.
Bradley Chubb is going to the Bills. So
that's
that'll
an upgrade.
Change their defense a little bit.
Yeah.
Derek Nottie, former Chief, going to Indianapolis on a 1-year deal. Stephon Diggs released by New England to clear cap space. What do you think of that situation?
I mean, Diggs was, again, hurt at the beginning of the year because he was coming back from an ACL from last year. So he came on slow, but I thought he was very helpful for the Patriots and Drake May. Stephon Diggs, I think so. I don't know. I was surprised they cut him, but I was also telling Peru, I was like, I thought he was only on a 1-year deal.
Yeah.
So when I heard he was released for cap space, I'm like, well, kind of makes sense. But I don't know who's going to – I don't know. He's a good piece for that offense. But then again, it seems like he keeps doing 1 year, 2 years with a team and then keeps getting released for being a good guy. But I think we also mentioned, I don't remember if it was Patreon or during one of our episodes, he keeps going to court too. So maybe that has something to do with it, and they're waiting to see how that plays out. But they don't want to pay the roster bonus. And maybe they just need to clear space for something else. Maybe they're going for an A.J. Brown. I don't know what they're doing.
You know, if they were clearing $5 million or something of cap space, I would think it's off-field type issues. But it's almost $17 million of cap space they're clearing. So it's not insignificant. And if you're coming off a Super Bowl team, a lot of those guys are going to expect pay raises in the offseason.
Yep.
And
but
so
he's one that's been there, done that. I think he's a good piece, and he's going to land somewhere and help that team. I think Stephon Diggs still has some juice in the tank. I think he's still a good player. I was surprised that, I don't know, you'd think if they were going to do that, they would have done like day one, and they didn't.
Yeah.
So it's kind of surprising it was like a week 2 thing, which makes you think something's brewing for either a trade or they're getting ready to sign one of their guys to an extension or something like that.
Yeah, they've got a deal brewing. Some other notable ones are our buddy Rachaad White is also going to Washington.
Really?
Yeah, on a 1-year deal.
Kansas City native, but Tampa Bay Buck the last couple of years.
Yep. So he's moving.
That's a good fit for him, I think. You like that fit up there? I think it's pretty good.
I think so. He's still a very capable back. I thought he did great filling in for Bucky Irving when he was hurt this fall and
Krosky Merritt's not that big a competition. I think he might carve out the first RB1. I don't know. I mean, I think between the two of them, Jacory and him, I think that's probably a pretty good backfield. It's not too bad.
Yeah.
Good start because they can both catch the ball and they both run the ball pretty well. I think that's a good landing spot for Rachaad.
Yep, I agree. I thought that was a notable one. Michael Pittman Jr. Going to Pittsburgh on a 2-year, $35 million contract.
Who's throwing him the ball?
That's a great question. TBD.
All right. TBD. I love it.
TBD, throwing the TDs. to MPJ. Lots of acronyms going on.
Lots of acronyms.
So,
well, good luck to him. I hope he gets quarterback.
2 years, $35 million. Is that? So we talked last week about Alex Pierce and the huge deal he got from Indy to stay there.
That was $29 million a year.
$29 million
like free
a year.
Almost.
Yeah. So is Michael Pittman Jr. really that? Was he like upset in Indy that he wanted out, or why is he so much cheaper and Indy didn't want to keep him instead?
I'm not sure, because I think if you in fantasy circles, the one you wanted was Michael Pittman Jr.
Yeah.
And so from production standpoint, Michael Pittman Jr. He's a good wide receiver in this league. I'm kind of surprised it was that low. To be honest, I kind of thought he'd be at least $20 million a year. So that was surprising to me, the price tag. But I think it's a good fit. I think he'll fit right in with Pittsburgh if they get a quarterback. And they might just trust their guy.
Howard, is that his last name?
Yeah, I think it is Howard. That's it. Yep. So he is one. I don't know if they're one, though, because they keep talking about bringing in other guys. So I don't know why they don't want Howard to be that person. Who knows?
He may not be ready, in their opinion, or whatever.
He may not be ready. But I'm wondering why it's just such a gaping hole. And I was like, well, we have a guy. We just would like to have others. But it's like they're just like, we need a guy. Like, what? What did he do? I didn't know he was that hurt.
We have our guy, unless he's not our guy, which is TBD.
Exactly.
So
we'll see what pans with that. But I like Pittman Jr. there. That's a good spot.
I thought that was a good signing. And then 2 quarterbacks. You mentioned Kyler Murray, 1-year deal to the Vikes.
Yeah.
You've already kind of, I think, gotten comfortable with that.
I've gotten comfortable. It's been a rumor for a long time that finally got put. It's there. It's now slap the table, and here we are. We got a new quarterback.
Yeah.
I kind of like it. A 1-year deal is exactly what I wanted, and we're only paying $1 million. We're paying like
1.3.
1.3.
Dirt cheap.
Dirt cheap for a guy who just inked like $50 million a year for Arizona a few years back.
Yeah.
And he's got all the talent. There's a reason he went number 1 overall. He's been a Pro Bowler twice. He has the talent and the tools. Even if he's a midget, even if he's a 5'8" midget trying to throw over a line.
I think his size is a big reason he's not elevated his game.
It is, but
no pun intended. But
that's if they
a big deterrent.
If they find a way to roll him out and let him run, man.
Yeah,
let him run. Let's go. I want him to be a 1,000-yard rusher next year. I think that'd be phenomenal. It'll help everything. I mean, JJ, Justin Jefferson. Not J.J. McCarthy. I want to make sure we have the right one. Let me get the one. Justin Jefferson is a nice target to make any quarterback look pretty dang good.
Yeah.
And Jordan Addison's still going to be there. T.J. Hawkinson's still going to be there. They kept Aaron Jones in the backfield as kind of a safety blanket to be able to throw in the flats. They've got talent all over the place. Now, I hope they draft a lineman. That'd be great. That'd be pretty freaking cool. We just need it. We need it. It's a big part of everybody's line.
Was he the one that was hurt all last year?
Yeah, that's the problem. We have a good line, just they weren't vertical at the same time.
Yep.
So the Vikings need to be healthy, and we could use probably an upgrade at guard. We just got to see what happens with that. But I do like the signing for 1 year. I was more worried they're going to go do something stupid and sign for like this monster thing. Give him a 1 year prove-it deal.
Yeah.
And hell, if he proves it sounds good, man, then we'll pay you. Let's see what you can do.
Yeah.
So I'm hopeful that they can at least squeeze every drop out of Kyler. Let's go. Let's get 12 wins at least. Let's try and win that division. Purple's all in, man. We're all in. And then we're also coming up with the perfect narrative of how it's all going to fall apart. There's going to be an injury after we start off 12-2. JJ comes in, dominates for those last few games, goes into the playoffs. Now there's a conundrum because Kyler's ready to play again, but JJ's played so well. He's a quarterback of the future. What do we do? And then whatever we do is going to be the wrong answer, and we lose the next game in the playoffs, and we lose this awesome season again. That is how every Minnesota fan has already seen this play out. We've seen this movie.
Right.
We've seen it.
All right. A few more to talk about here. So I think we mentioned last week the Tua signing in Atlanta.
Weird.
Is he the backup? Is he going to compete for the starter job?
Super weird.
He was dirt cheap for Atlanta. He's still costing Miami dearly for a while.
Yeah.
A couple more Chiefs signings this week. DeMarcado came over from Arizona over to KC on a 1-year deal. I know you're not a fan.
Face.
Not a fan of DeMarcado.
And here's why. So DeMarcado was the running back for the Cardinals, Arizona Cardinals, broke this humongous run. It was going to change the course of the game. They're going to take the lead. It was going to propel Arizona to a victory that they really needed. And dumbass drops the ball in a victory celebration at the half-yard line, goes out of bounds. They lose the ball. So, yeah, touchback. And then they end up losing the game by like a field goal. And they would have won it had dumb ass just not been a doofus schmertz and dropped the ball on the way into the end zone. And my talk at that point was like, cut him. He will never be on my team. That guy should never touch a football ever again. He should be for the Battlehawks in St. Louis, if anybody. And then he goes to the Chiefs.
Ironically.
Oh, my God. He's going to my team. I just don't like it at all. DeMarcado, I can't say I don't like it at all. He is an exciting player. And when you look at the stats, he is explosive.
Yes.
So I can probably give him another chance if he doesn't drop the ball again. If he doesn't do that ever again, I can like him.
What I've seen a couple takes on him and his potential role. So he is a pass catcher, and he's also a very good pass blocker. So I can see him being a third down back and maybe a series or two during the game just to give Kenneth Walker a break.
Yeah.
Kind of a 1-2 punch. He's a little bit too similar in size to Kenneth Walker, so it's not like the lightning and thunder type combinations that exist around the league. But I think he will be a nice change of pace, and he will certainly block on third downs.
That's what I've heard.
Mahomes.
He's pretty good. And the thing is, I think it hurts the worst because a guy that we like, Rashard Smith, who is also a pass-catching running back on third downs, and maybe a little competition's good. Can you ever have too many good running backs and pass catchers? Probably not. And heck, you can probably put both those guys out on third down, have them both go into the flat. I think that could be kind of fun, if I'm being honest with how it could look. Could be pretty good.
And how exciting would it be to put Tonga, who has, he's a defensive lineman, but he has fullback experience. He was used as a fullback for the Patriots a little bit. How fun would it be to line him up as a fullback with Kenneth Walker, with DeMarcado, and just pound the football on third and short or goal line runs or whatever.
Yeah, Andy Reid could probably come up with something fun.
Yes.
Which, let's tangent right into who else they could put in that backfield that you were just mentioning, and that quarterback with those people in the backfield.
Right.
Who do we now have for the Kansas City Chiefs?
We have another kind of interesting signing in Justin Fields, which most Chiefs fans have probably heard at this point and are still cleaning out their ears, making sure they heard that right.
Like, wait a minute, what?
Justin Fields has joined the Chiefs on a $3 million deal, or it's $3 million paid by the Chiefs, $7 million still paid by the Jets.
I think we traded a 6th-round pick, so it wasn't. You're not paying too much draft capital, and you're getting some upside. We did need a backup, and this is the
plan. If Mahomes
what do you think about
start.
This one? Like, would you ever want him to throw the ball in Kansas City?
Not more than 5 yards, I don't think.
Well, you're lucky. You can't do that anyway.
Right.
So
he's proven that he can't do that, or he couldn't
multiple
do that in
sub 100-yard games. This isn't in a quarter, people. This is for the whole game.
Yeah.
Like, he can't muster over 100 yards in today's NFL.
So I had similar vibes to your DeMarcado rant when I first heard we just signed who to be the backup quarterback. Yeah. But I'm hopeful that Andy Reid and his creative mind, the way he gets the most out of his players, I'm waiting to see the day. I never saw it with the Jets, but I'm waiting to see the day where the Chiefs run some wildcat stuff. They run some triple option stuff with Walker and DeMarcado and Fields.
Yeah.
Some sort of misdirection or whatever that just makes the defense look foolish, right?
Yeah.
So I think if anybody can do it, Andy Reid will find a way to make Justin Fields effective at what he's good at, which is using his legs.
Yeah.
I've also seen we might have a tush push now in Kansas City.
Yeah.
Mahomes will not sneak after, the dislocated
if they don't take the play
and
away this offseason, which I don't know. I know I was going to get re-voted on because it's just still is a burr.
Even if it's not a tush push, it'll be at least a quarterback sneak option.
Yeah.
Mahomes is not
taking
interested
out of those plays.
Yeah, he's not interested in sneaking. But just having that threat changes our fourth down profile a little bit. It makes the third and 1 with 2 backs, like you're saying. Those kind of sets, you can do some creative things off of that and not necessarily sneak it. You can pitch it for a quick hitter outside or whatever.
So, Prue, I got to ask you, do you think there's a big change coming to what offense we're going to see from the Kansas City Chiefs? Because we've invested a lot into people that can run the ball and catch short passes with the ball.
Yeah.
I see like a dramatic change coming for EB. So Bieniemy's back in the saddle. And before we were just an air show, an air raid. So 50 touchdowns, 5,000 yards, Pat Mahomes early in his career with EB. But now we're getting, again, Kenneth Walker. We're getting DeMarcado, Justin Fields for some, I imagine, going to be some short yardage plays designed for him. Mahomes will leave the game and we'll put it in the hands of Justin Fields to run for it with all these weapons around him. Do you see that, or is this just kind of like, it's still going to look like the Chiefs we're used to. We just have some different pieces.
There's two sort of diverging thoughts in my head about Justin Fields. Number one, Pat Mahomes can't go in August. So all the preseason stuff leading up to preseason games and maybe the first couple weeks of the season, he's the contingency plan. He will have practiced with the Chiefs, for 3 or 4 months or whatever. So, all right. So that's probably the worst case. That's probably option B. Plan B is that he has to lead the team for the first weeks.
Yeah.
The other thing is it could be just like the rugby player they brought in last year. And he's like, what if we tried this? And they figure out in the offseason that just isn't working, and then he won't even play. He won't even make the team.
Oh wow!
There's a
chance you don't think he can make the team then.
I mean, he doesn't have a whole lot of competition right now, so he probably makes the team, but
it's not zero.
Yeah, but it's he might be the sort of backup quarterback, but we might consider running the ball with Noah Gray before we put Justin Fields in the game or something crazy. I don't know. We'll see how it plays out. Justin Fields is not, I don't know. He has a ways to go to impress me. So I hope the Chiefs can figure out a way to utilize his talent.
I agree. I think one other one I want to talk about. So it's in the division. So Denver picked up a new wide receiver this week, Jalen Waddle from Miami, who's just giving away everybody. It's A-Chain carrying the show with Malik Willis. That's it. That's all they got left. But Jalen Waddle to Denver, and this is what is surprising to me. A first, a third, you said a fourth too, right? First and a third for sure.
It's Jalen Waddle and a 4th-round pick or a 6th-round pick. I think it's 4th.
Okay.
4, first, third, and 4th. So they just traded 4th-round picks for some reason, but it's also a first and third.
That is a lot for Jalen Waddle. Not that he's not a good player. I think he is. But a first and a third is aggressive. What do you think on that?
Yeah, a little surprising. He did okay stepping in as kind of the number one after Tyreek went down. But I wouldn't say he lit it up necessarily down the stretch last year. And
to be frank, nobody in Miami was lighting it up down the stretch last year.
A-Chain was still fine, but
he by himself, but he was the only one.
Yeah, but
he also caught 90 of the passes.
Yeah, so I don't know. Did they overpay? Probably. Will they see major production out of the wide receiver room with Cortland Sutton and Waddle?
They're better. I think they're better automatically with that.
Yeah.
but it just seemed like a steep price.
Yeah.
But who knows? Maybe there was other competition for him, and that was the price he needed to get him. But I think Sutton and Waddle with Bo Nix, if he kind of gets back to form, it could be kind of scary. It could be pretty good. So we'll see what happens. All right. Anybody else? Yeah.
2 more that I wanted to just hit real quick, both going to Philly, and that is Hollywood Brown
Okay.
from the Chiefs, 1-year deal, and Andy Dalton going to the Philadelphia Eagles as I presume, backup quarterback.
I don't think he's bumping Jalen Hurts anytime soon.
So 1-year deal for Mr. Dalton.
Okay.
From Carolina over to Philly. That happened this week.
I don't think there's ever a problem having a competent, experienced veteran backup who has no desire to take your job. I think that's a nice spot.
Yeah.
I think it's a good fit for Philly to have him back there. I think he can help Hurts because he's someone that can probably sees the field as well or better than Hurts and can maybe see stuff during the game to make an impact. Whereas if you draft a rookie or get some younger guy out there, like Kenny Pickett, I'm not going to trust Kenny Pickett's view of the field as a backup. And they had him before. I'm like, you don't even want him in the game. Whereas if Andy Dalton had to come in, just like with Bryce Young and Carolina last couple of years, really, he stepped in and did very well and did veteran leadership. Now, you don't want him a whole season. You don't want Andy Dalton as your starter. But if you need, like, Jalen Hurts gets a rolled ankle and is out for a week or two, you're not going to be mad, Philly, if Andy Dalton comes in as your quarterback. So I think that's a pretty good signing. Now, as far as Hollywood Brown, though, I mean, he just came from Kansas City, and I'm like, I don't even remember him playing. So he was here 2 years. I don't remember anything positive that stands out to me more than outside of a couple plays.
He had, 1 or 2 games that I would say were
decent,
stand out, and then the rest has been kind of crickets.
Yeah, mediocre at best. So I don't know how that upgrades him, but as I was talking to Prue in the Patreon, I think maybe that gives them more ability or confidence to trade AJ Brown. That's maybe, I don't know.
I don't see him as a replacement. They're still downgrading, right? But
yes. But if you trade AJ Brown, you're probably getting a first rounder, and they could probably draft a wideout, which is what I imagine they would do. I mean, I guess I don't know, but there's some good wideout talent in this draft.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
So I think that'd be it.
Speaking of wideouts, the last 2 on my list that I wanted to mention, Christian Kirk going to the 49ers, I think helps upgrade their wide receiving core.
Yeah, him and Mike Evans. And then they've had so many injuries. I kind of understand why they're wanting to do it. They've had 4 to 5 wideouts injured at the same time on this team. I mean, Brandon Ayuk, did you even know he was a 49er last 2 years? He was, but he didn't get to play much.
Ayuk and Jennings and Ricky Pearsall.
Yeah, Pearsall's been hurt a bunch.
Kittle was down a lot this year as a tight end, but Christian Kirk gives them a nice slot option that's hopefully a little healthier than their group has been the last few years.
That's a pretty good fit. I kind of like that for San Francisco. I think that's a real good fit. Brock Purdy's going to like him. Christian Kirk can do some good things for you in the slot.
Yep. And then the last one I wanted to mention, DJ Moore has moved on from Chicago. He is now a Buffalo Bill.
Yep.
Which I think
that is also
we mentioned that one last week.
We did.
I think we did.
Yep.
Yeah, that was pretty new news late last week, but I like that signing. I think that'll drastically improve their wide receiving core in Buffalo.
Exactly. So. I think so too. That'll be good.
All right. Yeah, lots of news still happening, but that's what I know at the moment.
All right. Well, I think that's going to wrap up this week, Shrewdness. So thank you for tuning in, listening. Hit the like and subscribe button if you haven't already, if you enjoy this. And this weekend, obviously, we got our brackets. So be circling. Hope you're circling a bunch and not hitting a bunch of X's on your bracket. And mostly, as long as you are doing what we're telling you, you should have a great bracket because you are staying shrewd.